Leopards win their third game in a row. They're on a bit of a roll. And this is the post-game show presented by the Maroon Club, enhancing 23 Division I sports. Join the Maroon Club today, and our player of the game is presented by Coca-Cola. Experience the Coke side of life. Standing by, head coach Mike McGarvey, and our player of the game, as that will be Andrew Phillips.
Hey guys, I'm with sophomore Andrew Phillips. Great game today, great win. What did you see from the team today?
You know, it's a little bit different than last year, and I thought we played, as a team, we played together. Did what we practiced, all week. We didn't have enough time to, go over their scout, but we did what we had to do. Got the win. I think we played, together, which is what our goal for the year. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, Coach Mike McGarvey used the word connected yesterday in the win yesterday. Do you feel like that's a word that would be good to use today?
Oh yeah, so connected. It's been up and down, but I think we're finding it and definitely connected. So.
He talked about the defense yesterday too. Defense came through yesterday, and it seemed like today you guys really kept the Purple Eagles outside and inside the paint to a halt.
Yeah, in practice we're doing gaps, not letting anyone get middle. It's a big emphasis. I think we're just doing that really well, and it's showing. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, I will bring over Coach Mike McGarvey over here. Congrats on the win. 3-game win streak now, as we were just talking about. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, what did you see from the Purple Eagles? It really seemed like you guys kept them outside the paint, inside the paint to a halt.
Yeah, I think we did a really good job defensively, but I thought they did an excellent job defensively too. So it was a different type of game than we experienced yesterday. There was a lot of offense in the game last night. And this afternoon or this evening, it was like almost a rock fight a little bit. We didn't have a great first half offensively, but our defense really stood the test and made free throws down the stretch to win the game, which was a good sign for our team.
It seems like this team is really buzzing around the underclassmen. We just talked to Andrew Phillips. He said he used the word connected that you used today, but the underclassmen have really been showing up.
Yeah, I think we have a combination of that, right? So we've got the upperclassmen who've experienced college basketball, and then we've got a lot of younger guys that are really talented and are thrown right into it and are productive. So that balancing act of having some upperclassmen and some younger guys that can play, I think really adds to our depth and makes us tough to guard.
So how do you tell them, 3 games in a row, tomorrow's the third day, last day of this classic, what do you tell them in the locker room?
Yeah, for sure. It's just going to be another really tough game. Every game is hard to win, right? So tomorrow's going to present different challenges for us than Niagara did and different than LIU last night. So we'll be as prepared as we possibly can, but it's going to come down to some grit and some toughness and that connectedness.
All right, thanks. Congrats, Coach.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks. Back to you, Gary and John.
All right, I think Gabby has some grit and toughness. I think she handles that sideline questions very nicely. Let's take a look at the highlights of this one. We'll look at some scoring, numbers, and we'll get out of here.
Well, I think that Coach McGarvey put it right. This was a fist fight, a rock fight, as he called it. Niagara offered such a challenge physically, but Lafayette, I think the thing that Coach McGarvey takes with him out of this game is that they can play a physical brand of basketball. And there you see the quickness. That's Marshall going hard in the bucket. Martinez inside is as big as anybody Lafayette will face. And Rayshawn Martinez finishes strong here. This was a big bucket. It seemed like every basket during the middle part of this game was a big bucket because they were so few and far between. Talk about persistence. I mean, this was a tough day for Vanderbond. Justin really was up against it, against a very physical team. And there's a Justin Page hitting a deep jump shot. That was the first three-pointer that Niagara hit in the longest of times. There's our Coca-Cola player of the game, Adam Phillips, who really came on strong today and had some big second-half points. Of course, Luka Savicevic with that pass fake and then the jumper. This was a big bucket as well. And again, you see, nothing was easy. Justin Vanderbond had to battle every time he put the ball in the bucket. How about, I'll tell you what, Petrie, Ryan just makes shots when they're needed most, it seems. And again, this was a bucket. Niagara made a run. You knew they were going to make a run. They also reflect their coach, the freshman Caleb Williams. Huge three right there. He answered the previous three by Niagara that really was pretty much a dagger. And then, of course, this was a circus shot by the sophomore leader, the point guard, Mark Butler. Big bucket right there. And this, with 3 seconds on the shot clock, was a dagger. That was a kind of a controversial call that may have given Niagara the ball back, only down 5 with 1:47 left. The call went Lafayette's way. But, you know, disappointing for Niagara for sure. However, if you're a Lafayette Leopard fan, this is a quality win over a well-coached and very talented Niagara team.
And they had a great second half by the numbers, 40% shooting from for Lafayette and 36% from beyond the arc in the second half. And they put up 38 second half points. So they got right back to what they normally do in a half. Good for them. The only one in double figures for Lafayette, that tells you about their depth, was Justin Vanderbond. He had 8 rebounds and 11 points, John.
And when you talk about they got back to what they do, how about the final result? Mike McGarvey always talks about assist to turnover ratio. Again, they weren't off the charts in terms of the assist number, only 12. There weren't a lot of baskets to be had today for sure. Only 4 turnovers against this kind of intense physical defensive pressure from Niagara. That is the number that stands out to me.
Well, why don't we do this again tomorrow? We've got a doubleheader for you. It starts at noon in the Lafayette Classic. Lafayette scheduled to play around 2:30. They'll take on Binghamton. LIU will take on Niagara in Game 1. That is a noon start. Come on, you're invited. So for John Leone, for Gabby DiPaolo, and for all of us, John Sabino and his staff, we thank you for spending time with us. I'm Gary Laubach. Goodbye, everybody.